guys, this is Tracy. We are going to make a personalized bag for the free Mother SVG. The first thing I'm going to do is I am going to shrink this down a little and just move it out of the way. I have already measured my bag and I know that it is 15 by 15 and a half. So I'm going to bring in a shape and I'm going to make it those dimensions. So unlock this. 15 by 15 and a half. And then lock that again. Right click and set it to the back. Make my screen a little smaller here. And change that color. Okay, and I know that there's a seam at the top that I want to avoid. So we'll bring in another one. Unlock it. 15, and the seam is about 1 inch. Okay. And I'm just going to group those, align it, and align it to the top. And then I'm going to group that and I have to send it to the back again. Okay, so I got that out of the way. Now I'm going to create my text for the names. I'm going to start with Tessa. I'm going to come up to my fonts and my system fonts. Those are the ones that are installed. Ruttela. That's what I'm using for the name. Click on that. Make sure you weld it. And same with that one. Add in some dates. For this, I'm going to do, it's called Argyle Socks. And this font comes 3 different styles. I am going to pick the thin one. Okay. I'm going to use the grid lines here to line this up. Okay, that is 1.974. Just trying to keep it the same size here, then I'll resize all of it. Okay. I'm going to eyeball that and get that grouped together. Okay, bring this back over here. Make that a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to have to shrink the names down. So I'm going to click one, hit my shift key, and the other one so that they size down at the same size. Alright, I am going to see how this looks here. This top one here, click on that, hit your shift key, and hit the bottom name, and I'm going to align it to the left. This just helps to keep it centered. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have to shrink these down a little bit. That one, click the button again, and this time I'm going to align it to the right. Okay, so yeah, I can make these a little bigger. Okay, take all of them, take those two, and I'm going to group that. And then this. Okay, so I'm going to move this out of the way. Actually going to come down here and ungroup these. Now I'm going to attach letters so that it's easier for it to cut. So we're going to have to ungroup the whole design here. Okay, and what I did for this design was I left the word mother and all the arrows unattached. So if you wanted to move the arrows around or change the colors on the word, you could. So I'm going to actually hide these arrows real quick. And I'm going to come down and I'm going to right click and ungroup all of these. You could do that from clicking on it, hit your on your mouse, right click, ungroup, or you can click this and come up here and ungroup. Okay, so I'm going to mother, hit that M, hit your shift key, and while you're holding it down, click all of them. Okay, and I am going to change that color to like a wine color. Okay, and I'm going to attach that. And then I think I'm going to take Tessa and Spencer and actually make them the same color and attach that to the mother. And then I'm going to go ahead and hide that just to get out of the way, make it easier. I'm going to highlight all this, hit attach, so now that's all together. And bring that back. And then I'm going to bring the arrows back. And I think for the arrows, I'm going to make the arrows the same color as the name and mother. So highlight that. And let's make sure it's the right one. Let me hide the black here just to get it out of the way. Make it easier. All that. Come back up here and change that back. Okay. Make sure it looks okay on there still. Group that again. That looks all right. Actually, I think I might bring it down just a little bit. Now you want to keep this locked so they stay proportioned as you change your sizes. All right, I'm going to hide the block because we don't need that. That's just for so we can get our sizing right on our bag. And then you'd hit make it. And because we are using HTV, you want to make sure that you mirror it. This is just telling me that one of my images is larger than a 12 by 12 mat, so I have to use my larger mat. But I flipped this one already, and then come down here and make sure you flip that one. And then you just go ahead and make it. Alright, hope that helps, guys. Let's get to crafting. Okay, we're going to put your HTV with the shiny side down. Line it up. And then go ahead and push it down. And then we are going to use a brayer. Go ahead and roll over it. This helps your vinyl adhere to your cutting mat better, so it has a more secure grip when you go to cut your vinyl. We're going to weed your vinyl. You want to start at the corner and use your weeding tool. You're going to poke it in the top and then just pulling the vinyl back and releasing it from the liner that's on the top. And although HTV is easier to weed than adhesive vinyl usually, you still want to pull it back slow. And you're going to continue to weed out the little pieces. I'm using a pin pen. It's a pen with a needle on the end of it. It works great. This one was a little bit harder to weed. Because of the font that I used, there is a slice down the middle of each letter of the font. So I had to make sure that I took my time as I pulled the vinyl up from the carrier sheet. And you'll see that as I weed, you'll see the little strings. So you want to make sure that you're careful as you're pulling up. I did find as I went that it was easier to pull it up in sections and then cut pieces off, so I had more control over the vinyl as I pulled it up. When you get that off, you'll just continue weeding, pulling out your little pieces, and make sure when you're done that you lift it up and hold it in front of some kind of light so you can make sure you got all your little extra pieces out of there. Double checking is always good. You don't want to use your heat press and set it down and then find out later that you left a piece in there. Okay, we're going to add our design to our tote bag. I am using Sister Easy Weed, and the manufacturer recommends 305 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds, but whatever vinyl you're using, check with your manufacturer to see your time and temperature. Here I am just trying to find the center of my design. Typically when I use my heat press, whatever product I'm using, I will take it and fold it in half to help find my center and then make a press mark in it. But this tote bag was not being very friendly with the seams. It was not releasing. So I'm just going to eyeball it. So I'm folding it in half, making a little crease mark, and then I'm going to put it on the tote bag and try and find the center. And I'm going to do just a quick press, maybe about 8 to 10 seconds, just to get the vinyl to release from the carrier sheet. And then I will pull that off and line up my other design on top of it. Make sure it's all lined up. And then I'm going to give it a press for the full 15 seconds. It's a warm peel, so when you're done, you just pull it off, and then your design is done.